Hey everyone, it's Hunter Foster. I'm the artistic director for the Red House Art Center in Syracuse, New York. And I just want to say hello and thank you for joining us here on Red Talks, which we do every Tuesday night at 6:30. We've been doing it every night since April. And, I've enjoyed putting these things together, and I've learned quite a lot about how to produce a TV show now. So I've gone from theater director, theater artistic director to TV producer. So there you go. That's what happens when you're in a pandemic. Anyway, thank you for joining us. We got a great show tonight. It's going to be behind the scenes at the Bucks County Playhouse, which is one of my favorite places that I've worked. It's actually where I got my start in New Hope, Pennsylvania. And it's home to some legendary people. I mean, legendary actors such as Robert Redford, Ethel, Merman performed there, Angela Lansbury, Audra McDonald, you name it. A ton of people work there and call it their home, such as Moss Hart and George Kaufman. So we're going to take a little behind the scenes. I was actually down there a couple weeks ago directing a Halloween concert. Actually, that's right, Halloween concert that we did. It was the first time that I've directed a show since the pandemic, probably since Christmas Carol, Syracuse Christmas Carol last December. It was like a 13 song concert with some of our favorite actors, Brandy Siobhan Massey, Jeremy Kushner, who was in God of Carnage with us last year, and a new guy that I'd not met before, a new kid, Andrew Pollack, who was fantastic. He does a lot of Meatloaf songs, and it was great. And so we in Pennsylvania, you're allowed to have an audience. You had up to 60 people. In New York, we're still not allowed to have an audience. Even if we wanted to, we could not have patrons in the theater to see a show. In Pennsylvania, you can. So they had up to 60 people. We only had about 20 or 30, but still, it was great to see people back in the theater. Everyone wore their masks. Everyone got their temperature checks. And, that's the world we live in. But it was a great sign that people can actually, attend theater, and people were excited and there was dancing and singing along. So it just gives me hope for the future and hope for live theater that we're going to come back strong, especially if there's a vaccine, which of course we got great news today that a vaccine is coming out. So we a great couple of days, man. The weather was fantastic. I was in New York City. I just got back today. And I know the weather was fantastic. It's like November 10th, and it's, oh my God, it's like, it's like summer, but it's amazing. It's wonderful. Really, really excited for the weather, because that made me really, really happy. A couple of great days in New York City. And it's great to see New York City sort of come alive again. It's been a tough road for New York City. It's my home. And as well as I work in New York, I live in New York City, and I also work in Syracuse. So I consider both of them my home. But, my permanent residence in New York City, and I consider myself a New Yorker, and it's just great to see the city sort of bounce back and become alive again. And it really, really has. My favorite thing are the outdoor seating, which is on the avenues. So if you go up like 8th or 9th Avenue, they've literally built these. At first they were sort of makeshift. They had like tarps over it. Now they've literally gone out and constructed like these mobile homes that are sitting in the middle of the street. Next time I go to New York, I'm gonna take pictures of them, because it's really fascinating. So even when you're driving, when I was driving there, you don't want to veer off, because you don't want to plow into one of these things. But that's the way it is, man. I mean, and they're building them out of like hard structure, hard roofs, and out of wood, and they're like little mobile homes where you can do outdoor seating, basically. But then they're sort of closed in. So are they outdoor because they're sort of indoor? I don't get it. But anyway, it was, like I said, it was a great, and New York, New Yorkers do a great job wearing their masks and sort of following rules. So please remember to wear your mask and do the things right. And actually, we can get through this as quickly as we can. I want to let everyone know about a couple things we got coming up. First of all, we have the Learning Lab, which we've been doing now, for about 5-6 weeks. Please check out theredhouse.org, our website, where you can get some information about our learning lab for your kids. It's been great. We've got some great recreational activities for them, as well as all the stuff that they are doing for school. There's even like a rock wall for them to climb, and a little playroom. And Peggy Mitchell, who put all this stuff, put this whole thing together, has got some great things for the kids to do as well. Some great fun things. So it's learning, but it's also fun. So please check that out. The Learning Lab at theredhouse.org. And also, It's a Wonderful Life. So one of the great Christmas stories of all time, right? It's a Wonderful Life, George Bailey, and the story of George Bailey that starred Jimmy Stewart on a classic film. We are doing the live radio play version. That's right, live radio play version, in which in the 30s and 40s, obviously, radio plays were like the Netflix That's what, you'd sit around the fire and you'd like listen to the radio, and you listen to, because there was no television, and you listen to these radio plays. And so this is the whole concept, is that we are putting this live radio play together in Syracuse back in the 30s and 40s. And it is it's going to be a recreation of It's a Wonderful Life. We are going to videotape it. That's right. It'll be a 3-camera video shoot, and it'll be available to stream. And that'll be for $20 for pre-sale all the way up to December 10th, which is our opening night. And that after December 10th, it'll be $25, and it'll run to December 20th. So you have a chance from December 10th to December 20th to view It's a Wonderful Life live radio play. It's going to star some great talent from around town: Beniford Abu, Stefan Brunson, Peggy Mitchell, Marguerite Mitchell, and Brendan Didio, and Robert Denzel Edwards, a lot of our favorites, and they're all going to be in the show. So please come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we can't wait to put it all together, which we are going to start rehearsal soon. So really excited about that. So I want to tell you a little bit about the Bucks County Playhouse. Like I said, it's where I got my start as a director. I've directed, I don't know how many shows there, and my first show that I ever directed there was a Summer 42 musical, which I actually wrote as well. It was an off-Broadway show back in 2001 that I wrote, and we brought it back. It was my first show there. And then I directed Rocky Horror Show, which we have done for 6 years running. That's right. It was a reoccurring show that we did every year for 6 years. We had to stop this year, obviously, because of the pandemic, but we do hope to bring it back in the future. So Rocky Horror we did for 6 years. I've directed other shows there, such as the Buddy Holly Story, Company, 42nd Street Guys and Dolls, to name a few. So and I have to thank Jed Bernstein, who is the producing director, who brought me in and sort of gave me my start. So I wouldn't be here at Red House if I hadn't started at the Bucks County Playhouse. So thank you, Bucks County. Okay, so we are going to take you backstage at the Bucks County Playhouse. Again, the historic Bucks County Playhouse. Okay, so we're backstage, looking around this is actually the lobby. Actually, it's not set up for a show right now because even though we will be doing a show tonight, we're going to have about 13 tickets sold. And this is the lobby. And here's some pictures, archival pictures. This was Guys and Dolls with Steve Rosen and Leslie Margarita that I directed here a few years ago. We have a little picture on the wall. This is another picture. Angela Lansbury performed here at the Bucks County Playhouse and Affairs of State. As you can see right here, this was a while ago, but that's kind of cool. Here's Lansbury, Bucks County Playhouse. And this is with Ruth White, Jack Klugman, and Ronald Telfer, which is kind of cool. I love these old posters. Bucks County Playhouse with Jack Klugman, who was Quincy. Another one, Kay Francis in Mirror, Mirror, prior to Broadway. How about that? Right there, Bucks County Playhouse. Another one. Here is Arthur Godfrey in Our Town and Alan Alda. Let me get the picture, the light out of the way. Alan Alda and Sunday in New York. Bucks County Playhouse. Isn't that cool? Okay, so we're here with Ron Otero, Broadway choreographer, and also an artistic associate at Bucks County, as well as myself. And so just tell us a little bit how you got started with Bucks County Playhouse.
Well, the first show we did here was way back when it reopened and Jed Bernstein was running it. And Lonnie Price and I did the first show. We did Grand Night for Singing, which is a Rodgers and Hammerstein review. And that's how it started. And then I think you and I, quite quickly thereafter, I think we did the second show, which was Summer of 42.
Probably, yeah.
Is that right?
Summer 42.
That summer. And then we did Rocky Horror also.
Yeah.
Right. And so very early on we did those, and then Jed moved forward onto other things, and Alex Frazier and Robin Goodman and Josh Fiedler came in and took over the Playhouse, and luckily kept us on as artistic associates. And then we just sort of opened up the gamut, and we got to do Company and Buddy, and we did a new play called National Pastime, a musical.
Mm-hmm.
We did Ain't Misbehaving. We added dancers to it, which was always my fantasy as a young girl watching it.
What's your favorite thing about Bucks County or coming to New Hope?
Well, the town of New Hope is full of people who are so eclectic and different. And, you know, it's got everything, right? It's got a huge LGBTQ community. It's got diehard Democrats, diehard Republicans. It's got drag nights every Sunday. It's got a group of motorcycle riders who come here on the weekends. The town is like all, motorcycle gangs, and they all come to the theater, and that's what the theater does. It like brings everybody together. So it's a really special town.
Now you've had quite an extensive Broadway career as a performer, as an associate, and as a choreographer. And just tell us a little bit about your Broadway credits, your recent Broadway credits, which included Waitress, which we know is like people just love that show.
Yeah, well, Waitress was on Broadway for 4 years, and in London and a tour, and hopefully we're going to Japan in January and Australia in the spring. Fingers crossed it all continues to move forward. It was an awesome experience, and now I'm working on Mrs. Doubtfire, and we were in our 4th preview when we shut down due to COVID. We will be back, and it's a beautiful show, and I can't wait for people to see it. And The Visitor, the public, which the set is also on the stage. We were about to walk into tech. Another beautiful show.
What's it like being back in the theater? I know both of us, we talked about it, sort of being back in tech. What's it like? What's it feel like after such a long layoff?
Gosh, when the singers started to sing, and these singers are incredible, the hair on my arms just stood up. It was like I finally felt whole again for the first time since March. And you could see the singers on stage. You could watch them almost expand back to their full being. I'll show him it would be now. Just give me one night. I will take somebody and sing me a
Things that I love the most about, especially going into regional theaters or to older theaters that have such a sense of history, and especially a theater like Bucks County, which has such a sense of history in this area, with Oscar Hammerstein, Moss Hart, and George Kaufman. I mean, what's it like to sort of be in it? I always feel it. Every time even in the Cape Playhouse or here, that you get a sense that, even there's an aura, even when you walk in here, that you feel like these incredible people were before you. I mean, what's it like to sort of continue on to create theater, knowing that you're sort of working in the same space as these theatrical legends?
Yeah, it's a sense of responsibility, isn't it? I mean, there's a sense that it is my duty to continue doing this, and I've learned from all of these amazing people who learn from all of these amazing people who learn from them. and these ghosts that walk among us. And we have a responsibility to continue this tradition and to teach others and to pass it on so that we become the ghosts on the wall one day.
Grace Kelly was here as well. And I was told that she was an usher here at some point. But Grace Kelly, picture Grace Kelly at the Bucks County Playhouse. Like I said, here's Robert Redford, who was seated right there, who also performed at the Bucks County Playhouse. Here's Ethel Merman, who was at the Bucks County Playhouse. I'm not sure what she did here. We'll ask Alex. But this is Ethel Merman at the Bucks County Playhouse, which is cool. Right there. Here's Dick Van Dyke. How about that? Dick Van Dyke in a play here. So a lot of great stars. Dick Van Dyke, Robert Redford, Ethel Merman, Grace Kelly. A lot of great stars here. Right there. So this is Tom Watson, who's our technical director at Bucks County Playhouse, who's been here for about 6 years, and we've done, I don't know how many shows together. Countless number of shows together. And you guys make a great team, you and Matt. Matt Given is our production manager, and Tom is our technical director. So what's it like being back in the space, doing a show?
It really is a lot of mixed feelings. I think that, when everything closed down, we were about to open the biggest, hardest, most technologically advanced show we have ever made. And I remember telling everyone that week, for all of our tech crew, for everyone here, that, we're here, we're growing, we're doing bigger things. And it's been such an incredible experience to be here from the first show that I worked on here was with Hunter. And that experience versus this last show we were about to open before everyone shut down has just been, it's been wonderful to experience this growth of Bucks County Playhouse and to be a huge part of the team responsible for that. And I really can't wait till everyone is back here and we get to continue that growth. We get to keep sharing artwork with everyone. And I just, the sooner the better. We're all really waiting to be home, or home away from home.
Absolutely. And we thank you for the Foley stuff, which I do have to put in my car because I've got to take it back to Syracuse.
I got to give you a hand with that.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, it's Alex Fraser, who is the producing director at the Bucks County Playhouse, the historic Bucks County Playhouse. And I was just in the back looking at all those pictures and all those people who have worked here. And it's amazing. Robert Redford and Jack Klugman, who was a Quincy, who list goes on and on. Angela Lansbury, Grace Kelly.
Everybody.
Yeah,
right here.
I know. Just tell us how you got, when you began, and how you got associated with the Bucks County Playhouse.
So I started in 2014. I had been working in New York theater since 1979 when I graduated from college. And I came to a point where I wasn't sure what the next step was going to be. And I met this guy who when we wanted to live together, but not in New York. And it means I'd have to leave New York. And Bucks County Playhouse suddenly kind of came up as looking for somebody to replace Jed Bernstein when he went to Lincoln Center. And it was agreeable to Peter, and it was rural enough that it was a, non-city experience, but it was close enough to the city where I didn't feel like I was deserting all my friends.
And you're such a, knowing you over the years, you're such a great lover of the history of theater in general. And I think it's incredibly, what I love about this place is the history and knowing all the great people that worked here, but also this was their sort of creative home, like Moss Hart, George Kaufman, Oscar Hammer, all these people from this. I mean, what's it like to sort of be associated with a theater that has such a rich history?
When Robin and I first started, and I dragged my friend Robin Goodman to come and do this with me because, first of all, I didn't know anybody down here, and I didn't want to do it alone, and I didn't want to be alone. So I talked her into doing it with me. We got a tour. The Michener Museum in Doylestown was doing a show at the museum about the 75 years at Bucks County Playhouse. And we really didn't, we knew about Bucks County Playhouse, but we didn't really know all the details. And so David, who was the curator, gave us a tour of it, David Leopold. And at the end of it, we were so overwhelmed because we had no idea. We knew it was big shoes. We didn't realize how big those shoes were. And, because in the old days, the Broadway theaters would close down in the summer because they didn't have air conditioning, and the stars would pack up their costumes, do the same plays with their family playing the other parts so they could see their family, and barnstorm the East Coast playing all of these great theaters, Westport and the Cape and Gunquit and Tappan Zee and the one in the Poconos. And it was really the thing, and all the Hollywood stars would do it. And, that was kind of lost when air conditioning came in the 60s, and suddenly, shows never ran more than a season. So suddenly you had long running shows, so people weren't available in the summer. And that kind of died out. And it's been the thing I've been most excited about is kind of reviving that idea and getting people from Broadway and Hollywood to come here, do classics, do new work, have fun, do really kind of classy small productions that shed new light on plays that people have forgotten.
Yeah. And so tonight is actually a very special night for all of us who've been a part of the Bucks County Playhouse, because we're doing we had rehearsals, we're back in tech. And what does it mean to be able to put a show on safely, that we're doing it? We're doing this safely, and we're streaming it, and we have a small, tiny audience that's going to be socially distanced. Yeah. But how meaningful I know it's been meaningful to me and Lauren, but how meaningful is it for you as the leader of this, theater organization to be able to get back into the theater and produce a show?
Well, it was interesting. I've been raising a lot of money over the past few months to keep us going. We have a campaign that's going to keep us going to the end of May. And next summer, we're planning on putting a circus tent up and performing outdoors. But I was at a donor's house about 2 months ago, and he was talking about going to church. And I was like, you can go to church? And he said, we've been going to church since like the beginning of July. And I thought, well, why can you go to church, but you can't go in a theater? And so I really went to this state and said, guys, what's the difference here? What's the difference between the church and the theater? If I can socially distance backstage, and I can have a small enough cast, and everybody's wearing a mask inside, and we have no intermission, and I can create just as safe as atmosphere in the theater that you would have in a church, or to me, safer than a grocery store. I know we can provide a safe place to be able to gather again. And I think that's the important thing, is we just got to keep going, and we've got to get some semblance of the new normal back in here so we can start build on that.
Right. Well, we hope you enjoyed our sort of backstage at the Bucks County Playhouse. Again, one of my favorite places. And it's a really, really beautiful place. It's in New Hope, Pennsylvania. It's right on the Delaware River, as you can see, across from Lambertville, New Jersey. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place. If you ever have a chance to go down there, please do. And please go see shows once they get back up and running. And if you have a chance to go down there, please check out the theater and please go see something. All the theaters need help, and we love your support for everyone. So again, like I said, you have an opportunity to donate if you'd like. I'm going to put the little donate button up there right now to the redhouse.org. Please go on our website. Any donation we will take, because we have to get through this gap. You know, we are obviously we can't do the things we want to do, so we're trying to figure out how we're going to sustain ourselves until we get to a chance where we can actually do theater again. We're hoping for a stimulus package, obviously, from the government. We will see what happens. It was a crazy week, obviously, with the election, and we do hope that we have a better future ahead. And we will see what happens. And hopefully, when everyone gets together and we can have a stimulus package that will help support the theater. But in the meantime, we love your support. So please check out the redhouse.org and make a donation today. Any donation will do. And just a reminder that It's a Wonderful Life, the radio play, the live radio play, will open on December 10th and run through December 20th. So please come check that out. Again, it's one of our, I'm so excited to be directing again and getting back into space with some great Red House favorites. Check it out. It's going to stream from the 10th through the 20th. Tickets are only $20 right now. If you go on the redhouse.org and buy a ticket now, it's only $20. After December 10th, it's $25. So it's best to get in early, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have a special, another special Red Talks next week, and we will just check back and you'll get some information about what that will be. And we hope to see you every week at 6:30 on Tuesday nights for Red Talks. Be safe, wear your mask, and have a great night.